What up, what up? Original Longwood coming at y'all, man. I want to talk to y'all about a couple of things, and I actually took it upon myself to write down just a couple of topics that I want to talk about. It's no speech or nothing. I don't want to make this video too long. Y'all know how I am. To me, anything past 10 minutes really is long, in my opinion. That's just me. Um, I don't want to make the video too long. I don't like to bore people. Um, Most people don't watch the whole video anyway, which is fine. But I just don't like taking up a lot of people's time, and I don't like giving a lot of my time to people. It's just how I am. Um, One of the first things I want to talk about is the meltdowns that everybody is having. All right. And I want to also talk about how everybody is on YouTube talking about the same shit, right? Which is the issues that are going on. And nobody has any solutions, any ideas, nothing. Right? And a couple other things. But I want to first talk about the mental meltdowns that people are having. About 3 weeks ago, a guy who lives here in this apartment complex decided he had had enough. I don't know, you know, my guess would be life, the bullshit. He decided he had enough. And he walked across the street to the property manager's office with a bat and a gun. He went into the office. I don't know, he said whatever he said, yelled, screamed, whatever. He started breaking up the equipment in the office, their computers, the printers, shit like that. And then he took out a gun and turned it on himself and killed himself. I know somebody who worked in maintenance. Motherfuckers that be driving the little golf carts and shit around from one property to the next within the apartment complex or whatever. I know somebody who works in maintenance. So I already got the inside scoop and story as to what happened. And I said to him, I was like, he didn't shoot none of them. And, he kind of, he was a little reserved just that I would even ask that question. And he was like, no, he killed himself. And it's like, well, shit, I'd have shot them. They've been up on the rent. They went up on the rent every year I've been here. Every single year. Property managers change businesses or, they change over to a new company or whatever all the time. There's been probably 6 takeovers of this place. Changing company names and shit. Probably 6. It's one of those bullshit ass type joints. And like how I told him, I say, man, you know what that's about? That's about the stress and the this, that, and the other, and woo woo, and And he one of these people that go to church, and just waiting on Jesus shit. And he goes, well, yeah, but that still wasn't the way to handle it, right? And people always say shit like that. They always tell you what you shouldn't have done, but they don't have no solid solutions or resolution as to what you're supposed to do. Right? And he one of them people. There are millions of people like him. Don't trip. I ain't trying to put him down or nothing. But, there are millions of motherfuckers like him. And so I went into talking about some things about how, it didn't went up on the rent and all this other shit and blah, blah, and woo, woo. And he was like, well, before I do all that shit, I'd rather just be homeless and live out in the middle of nowhere in the woods and shit. And I had to break it down for him. He didn't know nothing about the Supreme Court ruling, where they can come in and drag your ass off the street if you homeless. And he ain't know nothing about all that. He like, shit, I just fish and live off the land. Like, bro, them days is over with. Fuck is you talking about? Now, he a lot older than me. He in his 60s. He's a lot older than me. And one of the things I always try to get these stupid ass motherfuckers, man, because that's what they are. They stupid. I try to get them to understand how much times have changed. Like, bro, you can't do that shit no more, man. The police could come in and lock your ass up now. They could tear down your shit, your tent and everything, throw it in the garbage, and ain't shit you could do about it. They know Donald Trump did already put some shit in place where they talking about putting motherfuckers in facilities that's homeless, like literally enforcing them to treatment against their will, just because they homeless, not because they committed a crime, but just because they're homeless. They just signed some shit not too long ago where they could take you off the street and put you in a facility indefinitely and subject you to all types of treatment against your will. This is what we're dealing with, right? And the solution to it is, number one, you got to stop listening to these people. Number two, you got to stop with the divide and conquer. Number three, the only way to understand the divide and conquer is to study divide and conquer, man. Dividing and conquering is vast. The tactics that are being used are you'd be surprised some of the most harmless shit, or what you think is harmless, is really subversive as divide and conquer tactics. I did the video yesterday talking about the redistricting and the rezoning and shit of the state, and what the whole real purpose of doing it. It's divide and conquer. It's to keep the Democrat, Republican, left, right, up, down shit going. You got people out here that are saying that troops need to be on the streets in D.C. Yeah, y'all need to bring them to the other 19 states that Donald Trump was talking about doing. And 19 is the code, and then, Anyway. When are you guys gonna take back your fucking preservation, man? When are people gonna take back their fucking guts? Now, we all learn differently, right? And we talked about that. Like I told y'all, I read, but I try to read as less as I can, because the shit that I read be disturbing. Like how we was talking about the arbitration stuff, and how, I read like United States codes and Code of Federal Regulations, and that shit is disturbing, man. It's disturbing. Now, if you one of those type of people who are like classroom orientated or book driven, where you can sit down and read books and you can do a lot of research from reading a lot of different stuff, then do your thing. Do your thing. But what I will say is this. Start searching from within too. Because a lot of this stuff you don't need a book for, man. You don't need a book to understand that the people that are telling you can't defend yourself in public is the same motherfuckers that's talking about we gonna put troops on the streets in 19 states. These are the same fucking people. You don't need some sort of spiritual advisor to understand that there is something seriously wrong with a convicted felon, okay, given immunity or not. He was convicted. The conviction was never overturned. They just gave him immunity. You got a convicted felon talking about he's gonna do away with crime. There's got to be something wrong with that. You don't need a motivational speaker for that, people. And this is what I mean when I'm talking about going from within. You don't need books for certain things. You don't need motivational speakers. You don't need psychiatrists and priests and all this other shit for certain things. Some of this stuff you can get from within. Like, for example, when it comes down to fighting crime, this appears to employ a lot of people across the country. A lot of people are employed within a system that has something to do with criminals. Whether if it's in a courtroom, whether if it's in the jails, whether if it's in the police stations and parole officers and just what have you. There's a lot of people employed in this field. I don't need to go to a fucking priest and have a Sunday confession to understand that with all of these people being employed, you got a bunch of them that don't want crime to end, because it's pretty obvious if we do away with crime, those people don't need to have those jobs. So while you out here going to motivational speakings and reading different books and coming together as a conglomerate or camaraderie with other people, don't forget to look within too. Let that be on the list too. While you're doing your research, you know, through books, through videos, through talking to other people or whatever, or whether if you're going to motivational speakings or whatever it is you're doing, add go within to it. I didn't say don't read books. I didn't say you don't go to other people that you think have more knowledge about a certain area than you do and go to them for advice. I didn't say stop doing that. I said add the fact that you need to look from within too. Add that to it. Because there's something seriously wrong with a motherfucker saying you cannot defend yourself. And all of the people that they are put in prison for attempting to defend themselves. And then the same fucking people are saying, yeah, we're going to put troops and shit in Chicago. We're going to put them in LA and Louisiana and shit. And it's like, what? This is not a state of emergency. We're not at war. Pritzker nor Brandon Johnson want them motherfuckers here. All of those things combined spells it's illegal. You can only do it under certain power. Not only that. Did you know that the federalization of the National Guard is illegal? They weren't supposed to have done that shit. They did that shit by way of executive order a while back. I think, who the fuck did that? Was it George Bush who did that shit? The son? Who the fuck? Somebody jump down in the comment section and tell me what fucking president signed that executive order. I think it was George Bush Jr. that did that shit. It was either him or Clinton that did that with an executive order. That shit was illegal. We ain't supposed to do that. Quiet as kept. The state National Guards is illegal. Quiet as kept. Motherfucker don't want to have a conversation about what the militia is, who the militia is supposed to be. And these are the same motherfuckers that's telling you we're going to put troops on the ground, but telling you you can't defend yourself, man. Nobody wants to talk about controlling these companies and telling these companies what to do, opposed to it being the way it is now, where the companies are the motherfucker. The corporations is the people that are in control. That's the entity that is in control. These big mega corporations. I've worked for a lot of companies, man, that had contracts with the government, federal government in particular. Like my last job, where they made magnets and shit for the military and the hospitals and shit. I've worked a lot of jobs where you had to have some sort of extra something that you needed that was required because they got a contract with the government. Some sort of extra layer of background check or something. And what I can tell you is, without a shadow of a doubt, the people that are in these big ass corporations are the motherfuckers that's running us at the bottom. Now there's a pyramid, there's a structure. The sister Baby Girl Slaughter pointed it out on her channel. Excellent too, by the way. I couldn't find nothing to disagree with it about. Excellent tier as to how the structure works and the layers until you get to the top to the real motherfuckers. But the way it was structured, the way she broke it down, excellent. Because it's the truth. But the corporations are controlling these motherfuckers down here at the bottom, man. Why you think you working the way you do? You don't want to take control of the corporation. You want the corporation to control you. You have lost your way to the fact of not understanding that without you, there wouldn't be any corporation. Hence the part that I'm talking about, how motherfuckers get on here and they jaw jacking and shit, and they talking to you about like the things I was talking to y'all about, stuff that's going on that we already know or whatever. But motherfucker don't provide no solutions. None. People, you watch certain people channel, and they want to allude to just, maybe we shouldn't eat fast food, and, it's not really that good for us anyway. And, till they come down on the prices, maybe we should just look for alternative foods, or maybe we should just start cooking for ourselves. And it's like, no, motherfucker. Put McDonald's out of business. Put Burger King stinking ass out of business. You want to know how? Don't buy their food. Stop playing with these people. Stop buying their PlayStations. Now here it is, motherfuckers talking shit about all these extra features that you gotta buy once you buy the new PS, right? The PS5 or whatever number they on. Because I wanted one and it's always good to do this, where you let other motherfuckers get the new shit first and see what's going on with it, with the quirks and all the different fucked up things and the ins and outs. Let everybody else filter that shit out. The dummies who want to go buy it the first day it come out and all that, let them be the victims, right? Because I had one, you know what I'm saying? Because of Gran Turismo. I'm a big racing fan, but Gran Turismo is like my shit. But I said I was going to wait for number one, the price. Number two, it's a new console. So now that a couple of years have passed that it had been out, I'm hearing all these people griping and bitching about how you pay $50, $60 for the game like we normally would. But then you still got to buy extra shit to unlock this or to play this part of the game after you buy it. And it's like, oh, really? And you got to buy this piece of equipment to make this part of the game work. And this, that. After I already paid for this fucking console and spent $60, $70 for the game, you mean tell me I still got to spend some more money? That's what I got for you. So you know what? I ain't buying no PS. That's how you do it. Stop buying that shit. This is how you know our people are fucking cheerleaders. Again, you don't need a motivational speaker for that. That's something you can go within. You should be able to come up with that shit on your fucking own. You shouldn't have to read a magazine for that. You shouldn't have to read a fucking entomology dictionary for that. This is how you know people have lost their way. Don't buy shit you don't need. Shit that is not something that you don't need to live. And you will see these companies fold. And they're already folding now because a lot of people have cut back. Not because they want to, but because they ain't got no choice. It's too expensive. And I'm saying, how about you choose to just say, I'm not buying that shit. I don't give a fuck how much it costs. Motherfuckers don't want to do that. But then when the original Lone Wolf come along and say, your bitch ass ain't no victim, puss ass, docile ass nigga, motherfuckers want to get an attitude. Oh, he cursed too much. Fuck y'all, man. Got time for this weak shit. Here it is. I'm talking to you about solutions, and it ain't got nothing to do with these. It ain't got nothing to do with this. Nothing. It ain't got nothing to do with violence, man. I'm talking to you about shit you can do without picking up a picket sign, standing in front of the fucking governmental building, pulling out guns. I'm talking to you about shit that don't require none of that. But when I say motherfuckers some bitch niggas, you can't even do simple shit like that. How the fuck we gonna move on to talking about something like this? How? You punk motherfuckers can't stop eating out at the fucking restaurants. I want to see McDonald's out of business, man. I want to see places like Burger King and Amazon and all. I want to see these motherfuckers out of business, man. We have to stop this shit. This is simple shit. We do this, we move on to other shit. We should already be talking about the school system. If one topic on the planet that should help us understand that we need each other as men and women is the shit they trying to do to these kids. That's the number one topic, man, that lets you know that men need women and women need men. Here it is. We so fucked up. We so fucked up and still fighting and battling with the mama and the daddy and this, that, and the other. The kids are just literally suffering right in front of our face. We have to come together. Like I said, we accomplish one thing, we move on to something else. Ain't nobody telling you what they supposed to be telling you. The biggest reason is because people are monetizing. They are afraid of what could happen to their channel in the event of they saying things that the tube don't want you to talk about. Now your fucking channel or that particular video can't make no money up to a point to where you end up getting your shit shut down altogether. But they're not telling you, man, don't buy nothing you don't need. Nothing. Stop going to these fucking restaurants. Put the NFL out of business, man. What do we need an NFL for? What do we need an NBA for? Hence these docile ass men. We're in a position today that we're in because of docile ass men. Here it is, man. I can't get you to stop watching the NFL all Sunday. How in the fuck are we going to talk about some sort of movement? This is the reason for why I put emphasis on the fact, man, that the shit that y'all hear me talking about, there's no violence of any kind. I'm telling you this shit from sitting at home in the living room. I'm sitting right on the couch in my living room. I ain't talking to you about going to surround some government building or something. You crazy as hell. First off, I wouldn't tell nobody to do no shit like that. Second of all, I wouldn't tell nobody to do it on national TV, aka YouTube, BitChute, and Instagram. I wouldn't tell nobody no shit like that. Why? So the fucking cops can come kick the door down? No thanks. Third of all, y'all ain't ready for no shit like that. Here it is, you won't even fight back when they do stupid shit. You won't even speak up when they doing little minute stupid shit. So you know fucking well these motherfuckers ain't ready to be fighting nobody. Look at all these overweight, fat ass, unhealthy ass, sick ass people in this country. You motherfuckers ain't ready for no fucking fight. Get the fuck out of here. I can still walk 5-10 miles at 48 years old. I can still drop down and do push-ups and pull-ups and shit. I can still do all that shit at 48 years old. Now, I ain't the best. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't one of these motherfuckers that's just so stretched out of shape that I gotta wear orthopedic shoes and shit. Like a lot of these motherfuckers out here. Get some Epsom salt, nigga. Fuck wrong with y'all. So I'm not coming to y'all from that aspect of being violent. A lot of this shit we could go away just with our choices that we make. McDonald's don't need to be in business. The NFL don't need to be in business, man. College sports and all, turn that shit off. What is it doing but corrupting our youth? To where they can't see nothing else ahead of them in life other than abusing their own body. That's the one thing I give Mike Tyson credit for. I give credit for Mike Tyson for him talking about how he was when he was young and when he was on top in boxing and all that. And to fast forward to now at his age and he talk about how that shit ain't nothing and how he don't have nothing now. He really don't. And you know what? He right. He don't. He ain't got shit. You know why? Because he was one of those people that believed in that shit back then. Only for him to have the balls today to say, that shit really wasn't as important as I thought it was. At least he got the balls to admit it. But I give Mike Tyson credit for that. Mike Tyson has said some pretty interesting real shit over the years. And he sucked into that shit. He can't get out of it. That shit that he a part of, Mike Tyson can't get out of that. Ain't no getting out of that. And he know it. But this is what happens, man, when we're so driven. When all we see is money, fame, and success. Or what we know of. What we define money, fame, and success. This shit's got to stop, man. I don't care what you say. This shit has to end. And I'm going to end this video like this. If people are not giving you ideas, if they're not giving you solutions to look at, if they're not giving you ideas to look at, get away from them. It ain't about telling a motherfucker what to do. I know I can't tell you what to do. I know that your life and your circumstances are different from mine. But that don't mean that I should not share ideas with you. I don't know what idea that I could share with you that just may fucking help. So don't listen to these people, man. Don't listen to them, man. A motherfucker who can't provide any type of advice or any type of solution, even if it don't fit your necessary narrative, because your life is different. It may not necessarily fit. But if a motherfucker can't give you any advice, they somebody that's not going anywhere. And I'm talking about on a spiritual level. They're not ascending. As a lot of us tend to say, they're not ascending, man. If a motherfucker can't provide a solution for you to take a look at, I'm going to say it again. Everybody's circumstances is different. So some of the things that I may suggest just flat out may not work. Not because they're bad suggestions, but just because it doesn't fit your life. Right? But that don't mean you're not supposed to give people some advice. And that's what nobody is doing. You got motherfuckers talking about, that's okay, we're going to vote them out. We're just going to, and it's like, wait a minute, you do know that within government, within the Constitution, that if these people are really fucking up, like how everybody is crying, that they could be taken out of office before the term is up. For everybody that's saying, we're just going to vote them out. I'm going to end it right there, guys. To be aware is to be alive, man. Stop allowing yourself to be subverted. Tell these fucking people no. And when that day and time comes, stand on the no. You don't have to go out and picket and shit. I'm not finna go stand out here and hold no sign, man. And be all in the cop's face yelling and screaming and spitting in his face. I'm not doing it. I don't even fucking like cops. And I'm not gonna do that. I don't even like them, man. And I'm still not gonna do that shit. Do shit that work. Put these fucking businesses out of business, man. Take back your life. And you can do it without firing a shot. It's Original Lone Wolf, man. I'm out.